Hey there, welcome to August 2020. I'm doing an overview for the month using the Illuminating Journey cards and Jen Duchene of jenduchene.com. So I've already prepared the cards, the Illuminating Journey deck created with the help of the Akashic records. Let's see what the cards have to reveal. Card 1. So this card has been showing up a lot for me personally, so I'm very fascinated that it's also showing up here for August. This card is similar in some ways. It's a 6 to the Lover's card in the Tarot. There's some similarities. It is full of rose petals, full of love, full of possibility, and the relationship between the male and female right here with the snake, this the male with the moon, the female with the sun. There is that connection that's happening between them, and this idea of being connected to the snake, the energy, the vitality of our passion. Just looking at that snake, that they're holding the snake is very vibrant and alive, like each person choosing to be connected to the truth of who they are, right? Becoming whole, becoming connected to our divine selves, to our physical selves. What this card is telling me is that we have lived lives of divisiveness, like we have been divided not just with others, but divided within ourselves, and our capacity to be at peace with who we are. When I say at peace, it doesn't mean we don't want to grow or change or say, well, you know, I have this behavior, I want something different. And I like, oh no, I'm at peace, so I can't have something different. Instead, it's being in that place of going, this is who I am, I accept it, I love myself, I embrace that, and I do the things I need because I'm choosing to change, I'm choosing to stay here, whatever I'm choosing to do. So using the energy of choice between two polarities, wherever that is, to find your sense of balance, your sense of harmony. This is who I am, this is my role. And when you think about this card, it represents the two sides of who we are, the part of us that is external, that shows up a certain way, maybe what we call masculine or feminine, and then the other part. But the real truth is there's two parts of us that we tend to not think of. We tend to think of, oh, I'm masculine or I'm feminine or I'm this or I'm that, I'm male, female, whatever. But this card is talking about the internal feminine, the internal masculine, or internal intuition, and the external of how we bring our beingness alive. How do we bring what we believe, what we want to experience into reality? By listening to what it is we want to express and then taking the action when it feels aligned, when we feel ready. I have everything I need to take the next step, and then I need to pause and, you know, and then I'll take the next step, or however it works for you. But trusting in your own ability. I have to say, I'm so impressed with the clarity of this. I'm not at home. I'm house sitting, so I have a very clear screen, which is wonderful. The cards are really standing out. Brilliant. Anyway, to get back to the month of August, this sense, and even just looking at the snake, this energy, the way it's unfolding, it's not a straight line, it's curvaceous, it's very expressive, it's passionate, it's expanding and opening, allowing us to truly feel the energy of what it means to be in harmony with who we are. The 6 actually represents maybe the word And what the card is saying is, instead of having your expectation on others, to have the expectation on yourself. Like, I'm choosing to do something, I want to go there, I want to do this, therefore I must do this or that, or learn this or that. August is a 12 universal month, so very much about learning new things, being in creative communion with all parts of ourselves, all parts of the world, and recognizing that there's an opportunity to learn, to grow, to experience, to be in stillness with who we are. So it's a very powerful month for lighting the fire within you, to expand that and explore some of the depth of yourself that you may have hidden, the beauty within you, the potential and possibility. And I just love how the water streams from the body. It's almost like they're growing out of the water, and the pool of possibilities, the potential of what's open to you at this time as you sit in the pool, as you sit and you allow the stream to be manifested into being in an ocean of love and liquid, and just feels very juicy. So there's a lot of potential in this month to move into that richness of who you are and give your all to exploring and experiencing who you are. So it's kind of like, in this time, like in this flagrant time of pulsation and burning down of the old and kind of the irritation of the new, that we are in these spaces where we get to kind of come to terms with who we are, like loving ourselves, like loving the richness of what's available and choosing to live from that place. Wow, this is a vibrant aliveness that I have, that I can live with, no matter what's happening on the outside. It's not denying what's happening, it's just choosing what are you telling yourself about what you're seeing, and how are you acting, and how much are you living in the present moment of what is, of who you are, what you're bringing, what you need to learn and experience and do to grow and expand and change and move with these amazing times. So card number 2, oh, I love it. These are the rose petal cards. I've been exploring the idea that there are so many rose petal cards in this deck, and these are the 2 of the main ones. So here's the second one, the 26. So we have both the 6, we have the colors from the red to the pinks of the rose petals, from the idea of bringing the 2 together, the 2 sides of ourselves, to feeling the joy of being here now in the abundance of who we are, in the love of who we are. And 6 is also about family, connecting and loving our local family, our local experiences, the people we are with. So finding peace with who we are within our community, right? And then moving into this, which is an 8, which, interesting, we're in an 8. Of course, August is an 8 month. So this card is the Golden Palace. And what's so interesting about this card is this idea of what is available to us. This palace we believe in, this idea, we have an idea of who we want to be, what we want to experience, right? So when we come together, when we find the way to work with who we are and love that, and we really get drawn into, I feel like this card leads into this, right? We get drawn into this place, like, this is my desire. I want to live in this energy, in this castle, in this golden palace. And we experience whatever we experience. So in this space is everything. And so we get to live in rooms that reflect who we are and what we see. So what we tell ourselves and what we believe around the world, and every room is there, but we can be stuck in certain rooms. So this is the promise of going to new rooms when we find this, when we find the integration of who we are, the peace of being expressed through us without denying ourselves. So we're not saying we're not enough. We're saying I am enough, and there are things I want to change about my experience. So what do I need to do? So how do I get up that? How do I rise up the ladder in the Golden Palace? How do I find those rooms that I haven't seen yet, or be at peace at rooms that may feel too big and fancy for me? How do I get in there and feel there? How do I choose those spaces that expand my experience? And very empowering card. There are two lionesses in the front, roaring as this being, possibly you, kind of sweeps into the place, sweeps into this idea of being expressed and delighted, and the flamingos, and there's just so much here, so much richness and promise of just expanding into the time we're in, just expanding into this experience, being here now. This is who I am. This is what I'm passionate about. This is what I believe in. This is what I want to do with this irritation, this energy that's awakening inside of me. I want to be able to use it to create and to develop the things that I believe in the world, within myself, my own experience, as opposed to feel confined because I'm taking up too much room or other people are telling me what to do. It's a complete shift from being controlled by the external to recognizing the inner empowerment that you have with these two cards. So let's see what the third card is, the 8. How interesting. So we talked about this being an 8 and August being an 8 month, and the number 8, which is the infinity symbol, and the 2 zeros connecting. The point where they connect is the place where we find the space to be who we are, the ego. So a lot of times in spirituality, we think we're not supposed to have an ego, we're not supposed to want things, that it's a misrepresentation of what the ego is. The ego is needed. It is not the top of the thing. As you can see, it's in the middle, right? There are 2 major circles, as above, so below. But where they join is that point where we get to express who we are, and we get to express it however we want. We can express it and feel like we're not enough. So you can think, again, the duplicates that we're seeing, right? When we started with this card, there's that duplicate in the sense like everything is possible. So what are we focusing on? Are we focusing on lack and loss and not enoughness, or we're focusing on abundance, enoughness? It's 2 things, 2 sides of the coin. Neither is wrong. They're both available. Which one are you kind of consciously activating? Remembering that the figure 8, you just infinity, you just keep going. So there's always this energy of movement between the 2, and where it links, it's like, how am I attending to what is? Am I feeling not enough? Well, do I need to go down and maybe focus on what it is that I need to change? Am I feeling like I'm too much? And what do I need to hold that space? Am I feeling like I'm on an adventure? Am I falling down? Where am I in the cycle? And finding the compassion, the love, the acceptance of leading yourself through this, because 8 gives you the bigger picture. It also allows you to focus on strategizing and kind of coming to terms with, okay, this is what's happening in the world, because we have a lot of things going on right now. We have the COVID-19, we have the economy being impacted, we have this surge of people rising up and the government suppressing, like all over the world. We have these 2 aspects that are coming together and kind of going like this, right? So what are you telling yourself about what you're seeing? Well, this is too scary. I'm going to go hide. I can't deal with it. I just want it to be over. Or when we do any of those things, I'm just going to kind of force things. I'm going to tell everybody what to do. I'm just going to get everyone back into, flow. Neither of those things work, but you're of course welcome to do those things if you want to. There's no reason why you can't. It's just like, if you feel like this is what you need to do and you want to do it, you're going to do it. If on the other hand, you're like, okay, well, that's not working, and I know that I can't make this go faster. I can't slow it down. I can't jump ahead. I just have to live through this experience. And as I'm living, and this is the 12 of this month, I'm learning, I'm applying myself to learning, becoming. So here we are with the 8, learning how to activate my ego in a way that it serves me. So I'm feeling at peace. I'm finding that harmony, that balance, that ability to lead myself out of confusion, out of fear, away from the idea that the destruction I see around me, the breaking down is, it's leading us to disaster. When breaking down leads us to new birth, renewal, new things. It's not comfortable breaking down things, everything around us breaking. We're going to have more of that this month. There will be possibly physical things, earthquakes, water movement, fire, as well as conflict between people, more conflict and more revelations. We're going to see all of those things. We're going to be exposed to it. So what we need to do is prepare ourselves so that we can let it move through us. We're not resisting it. We're not denying it. We're not trying to fix it. We're allowing it to move into us so we can actually sit with it in contemplation. We can hold ourselves in that space and go, okay, what is mine to do? Again, the 8, the leadership. How do I find, this? How do I find the symbiotic energy between the two sides of me, or me and the external, whatever, the internal I'm experiencing, the external? How do I find my peace, my harmony? Sometimes it takes them back and forth. Sometimes it's just opening your heart. Like, this is it. We're in the August month. We're opening our heart full of love. The rose petal is the highest vibration in the scent that opens our heart, the red, the heart, the love, more, the pink, the heart, opening ourselves up, opening up our sense of power, being empowered, being in love, opening our voices, our throats to, here's an opportunity. Let me see this, let me hold this, let me know this, and choose something different. Let me be in balance with my experience so I can hear things, I can see things, I can know things without feeling like I have to go fix it, or I have to make myself wrong, or I can be who I am. I can see the world expanding and changing, and as I change, the world changes. As the world changes, I change. What am I letting into my field? I'm actually going to do 2 more cards because I've been told by the Akashic beings to do a 5-card spread today. So let's see what's next. So here is this card, the 32, which is a 5. And now we move into kind of from the purples. We have kind of this energy of the 5, the purple, these gateways opening. This is the card of healing. This is a card that invites us to heal ourselves, to find our path, our dharma, our destiny, the thing we're here to do or be in this moment. As everything explodes and changes and moves and shifts and gets so crazy outside, we can go inward and find the peace and the truth, and let this energy that's stirring our libidos and bringing us into life become a path of healing. So there's deep healing available to us if we are willing to contemplate and choose our path. So not be impulsive, but be measured and empowered and passionate. What does that look like when we can be all of those things at the pace that works for us, as opposed to just going crazy, burning the field around us, and then going like, why did I do that? Right? If you do it, it happens, right? That's your path. That you are being invited to find the healing within, your journey of healing. These piles here are salt. There is so much healing in salt. And in the 5, the 32 is the number of the politicians, called the politician's vibration. It allows you to speak your truth eloquently. and let that truth land where it lands. And when we say speak, it may not be your voice, the sound of your voice. It could be maybe you singing, it could be you humming, it could be you vibrating at love, or drawing, or creating something, creating community, creating a way, even with community, is coming up with ways that you can work with others. Like, here's something I want that others want too, and it's available, let's do that. So through your voice, through the desires you have, you collaborate and find ways forward. And at the same time, you let go of the idea that you need to fix someone else's experience or tell them that it's not true what they're experiencing. Yeah. And I definitely feel like I see a figure here, kind of almost looks like a Charlie Chaplin figure, that's kind of helping us to recognize that there's healing through creativity, through joy, through laughter, through amusement, through this idea of knowing we can take the path of the hero's journey in a very delightful, nourishing, and full way, whatever feels like it is to us, like choosing that path of not irritating where we don't need to irritate. So for me, for example, I'm learning as I'm working with people, as I work with my clients and other places where I'm being called to do what I do, right? Which is bringing this energy, healing energy to people, transmitting energy so that people have an opportunity to expand and open, and then I open and expand. So it works in synergetically together. And what I've realized is that if somebody is having an experience that I see something different for them, but they want that experience, then they must have that experience, right? I'm not here to change what experience they want to have, and until they have that moment where they go, oh, I want a different experience, I need more information. When they're asking for the information, we give it to them. But if they're not asking, we're just letting them gently find their way, because we all need different time. And one of the most devastating things that has happened to us as we've grown as a species is this idea that somebody else knows better than us, and that they're going to tell us what to do, and they're going to hurry us up and get on with it and go here and do this and you'll be fine, I'll fix you. And we all have different timing. And so when we recognize that timing is individual, and that we can take whatever we take, and we can just leave others, we hold them in that space of love, knowing they will come to the water when they're thirsty, and then we don't need to shove them and push them. And it's just so much more peaceful. The last card, wow, and we go into green, the heart energy, and the card number 2, which is the ultimate journey of this year. And now we're in the last half, the last months of the year. We begin the energy of activating the harvest, like whatever we've harvested through this year, which 2020, about finding balance, finding peace. And we don't find peace through suppression. We find peace through breaking everything, right? And breaking it down and things burning up, and we go, oh, this is renewal, right? This is peace. Taking all the things that have not worked and letting them break up, burn down, whatever they need to do, and then go, okay, this is what I want, the heart of it all, the 2, the finding peace, finding balance, allowing what comes through, my intuition, my divine being self wanting to be expressed, coming through and being served into the world, because that's my expression and that's my allowance. I can do that, right? And that's what I'm here to do, is express me. And if I bump against others, then I can decide what I want to do about that. But yeah, each of us expressing ourselves, that's peace, right? And then we find, then we communicate, we connect, we start to build and create with each other, collaborate, contribute, and establish new things, a new system, a new way forward. So that's where we are. We're in this complete in this space of needing to really start all over in this renewal and this rejuvenation. And what are we taking forward? What are we focusing on as we go forward? So this card gives us that sense of peace, this representing again the male-female energy, the connection, this chalice, which connects us to source material, allows us to manifest on the earth with this energy. So to create the triad of potential, being at peace with our nature, in nature, just loving that. And also feels like it's encouraging us to be in nature, like to contemplate, like what does it feel like to spend time instead of being, agitated, which is part of this thing, we being agitated, so we are being turned into pearls, right? And at the same time, the beauty of that is allowing ourselves to go into nature, to contemplate, to rest, to dream, to hold a vision of something in the future that we desire, that we can see. Because we start to create from the vision we hold, the beliefs we hold, the way we live in the world, like this, at peace, and recognizing all the beings around us that live here. It's not just humans, it's nature, it's animals, it's plants, it's the elementals. They're all here. We're sharing space. So finding ways to express who you are without feeling trapped or trodden on, and without suppressing others. So there's plenty of room for us all to express when we find that place of peace. All right, so that's August. Connecting with love, with the wholeness of who we are, upgrading our entry into the Golden Palace, what's available to us, reigniting the as above, so below with the central I am, my ego, the thing that allows me to operate in the human world, bringing ideas down and then, allowing them in and then activating them. And that's the ego, is the part that gets that going, right? And then on the next level of really being in balance with your ego is allowing yourself to heal, find the journey, the kind of the game of life, the joy of it. It's not a battle, it's a joyful experience, and you get to choose who you engage with, how you engage, how you allow yourself to lie in peace and be at ease with what's around you, because you can see the bigger picture, right? You can see what's coming. You're holding the vision. Remember, this is all about allowing, having the vision and allowing and just activating, doing what needs to happen. Let the flow come through you, and then you decide and you move, and then you heal, and then you heal some more. You contemplate, you allow, you remember that we are many in this field, many who are here to have experiences, who are here to heal and reveal. And it's going to be a very rich month, full of opportunity. There's going to be surprises, activations, movement, a lot of it unexpected. We have the opportunity to judge things or do this process, come back. I'm judging, I'm holding somebody in a light I don't want to, I'm separating, and I want to remember the wholeness. What do I do? And just go through that process over and over again. Coming back to the acceptance, being me as I am, in love, allowing, remembering my vision, where I want to go, what do I need to do to come there, activating this leadership, healing, allowing, letting go, contemplating, receiving, remembering. We are all together in this pool. So how do we find our way together? The same vision, same energy. Right? It sounds funny to say same vision, same energy. We're going to find the tribes that have the vision and energy we have, but the bottom line is we have to know what that is first. Have an amazing August. An amazing August. I hope you had a great July. I know it's a really stressful time, so just be as peaceful with yourself as you can be as loving, be as gentle with the fury and the fire that's burning up around us, inside of us, so we can move through these months and begin planting those seeds of our vision going forward. I'm Jen Duchene. Love to hear what you saw, heard that I didn't mention, or how this lands for you. Let me know. These cards are for sale on my website, jenduchene.com. If you want to know more about me or how you can work with me, all of that is below in the comments.